Here is, this is also another, this is very interesting too. It appears now the way they're going to deal with Obamagate, and we saw this last week, right? Where Bill Barr announced that I don't anticipate any charges to be leveled against Joe Biden or Barack Obama involved in the Durham investigation, even if they did anything wrong, which is like, you know, the sort of, I don't know, it's like a humble brag, right? A little bit. It's like, I'm not the one who's going to ever say anything about how that person hit their wife. I'm never going to say it. This is Bill Barr basically saying we have nothing on them. And so we're going to be magnanimous and not charge them, even though we have a lot of stuff on them. And it appears that Bill Barr's strategy has now been adopted by the rest of the White House. It means because what they're doing now is they're having One America Network, which is partially owned by one of the Trump guys' kids now, right? Speculation of a takeover by the Trump family. And Trump himself has been pushing this network. They're basically given a question that was pre-planned to make Trump look like he's magnanimous and that there's something that they have found that Obama was up to.
Considered pardoning President Obama for illegally wiretapping on Trump Towers, illegally spying on U.S. citizens, and other potential crimes out there. Has he considered that?
So I have not spoken to the president
about
that.
1 second. Here's the question. Has President Trump considered pardoning Barack Obama for all the crimes he committed against him? Right? Has he considered pardoning him?
Like being born in Kenya.
Like, we've already skipped, right? Has he considered pardoning him for not being an American and being president and
violating
also being
the
black?
Constitution? Yeah.
I have not spoken to the president about that, but who I did speak to about President Obama and unmasking Michael Flynn were the men and women in this room. I haven't spoken to him on that specific point, have spoken to him about the matter generally, and I laid out a series of questions that any good journalist would want to answer about why people were unmasked, and all sorts of questions. And I just wanted to follow up with you guys on that. Did anyone take it upon themselves to pose any questions about Michael Flynn and unmasking the President Obama spokesperson? Oh, not a single journalist has posed that question. Okay.
Flynn's name wasn't
so
mapped.
I would like to lay out a series of questions, and perhaps if I write them out in a slide format, maybe we're visual learners, and you guys will follow up with journalistic curiosity. So number one, why did the Obama administration use opposition research funded by a political organization and filled with foreign dirt to surveil members of the Trump campaign? Number two, why was Lieutenant General Michael Flynn unmasked? Not by the intel community entirely, but by Obama's chief of staff, by the former Vice President Joe Biden, by Susan Rice, by the Treasury Secretary. I mean, this is extraordinary. And, if it were political appointees in the Trump administration, I can guarantee you I'd have questions in my inbox right now, but apparently Obama's spokesperson does not. Why was Flynn's identity leaked in a criminal act? It is a criminal.
I just wanted to say that Flynn's name was never masked. They didn't unmask it. The report, it was, everybody could see it. There was no reason to unmask it. I mean, because it was not masked. And also, the reason why they're not getting in touch with President Obama's spokesperson is because he's not president anymore.
I know, it's insane.
But she's got she had these slides. She was ready for this question. Like, you asked the question about whether Trump is going to pardon him, which implies that he did something criminal, and I'll follow it up with this PowerPoint presentation. Is there anything more worth watching here, Brendan?
Not really. She ends the press conference after posing more slides.
Oh, so it's one of those, like, here's the final question. Yeah. You're gonna ask, am I going to pardon, to make it look like I'm actually a big guy thinking about it?
This
I
is
mean,
always-
do you think this is working right now, or do you feel like this is sort of the death knell and that they're just thrashing?
It seems like mental jiu-jitsu. I mean, I can't keep up with it, and I definitely, if I can't keep up with it, I can't. What Rust Belt person that they're trying to win over right now is going to be able to keep up with it?
Yeah, let me ask you this, Naomi. I mean, do you? I mean, never mind the fact that it's ineffective. Like, do you think this is like a? Do you think this is just Trump sitting there going like, "I want all hands on deck about this," and people are just like, "Oh, all right." I mean,
Maybe.
what is the strategy here?
I mean, the only strategy I can think of is just pound some sort of doubt about Obama. And it may not make any sense. They don't have, there's no mapping, there's no chart, but someone did a PowerPoint presentation to make it sound like it's real and official. And like, that's enough of a, I mean, it's like putting forth a book report and it has all of your sourcing is like your friend's other book report.
But how does this work? So if they debate, they get out there and Trump goes, "How could you work for a man who was engaged in Obamagate, Joe Biden?" And Biden's like, "I honestly, I don't know what you're talking about." And he goes, "Well, the unmasking of Flynn." And Biden will be like, I don't know what you're talking about. See, everybody, like he worked for the guy who unmasked
exactly how
Flynn.
it's
Like,
going to work. Yeah.
I mean, it just seems like a very odd strategy to me.
I mean, it's Benghazi. It's another form of Benghazi, but tying it to Obama, and that's all it is. I mean, Benghazi is a real event, obviously, but it's taking
the Benghazi
something.
thing they didn't even use against Clinton. It was the emails that came out of the Benghazi thing, and I guess maybe they're hoping that they're going to get something that comes out that is like, wait a second, in the course of the unmasking, it was clear Joe Biden had a server, a secret server. I just don't think there's enough material there